Okay, so hi guys. So this is the first topic for the midterm. So we have these are still under the protozoan family. Okay, protozoa pa din sila, but we are not able to discuss this during the prelim. So we will still tackle them because this is a very important. Malaria, this is not so common already in our country unlike before. Okay? But this time, hindi na ganun kadami yung cases. Except in Palawan. Okay? So we have here comparison of malaria cases in our country. That is from 2010 up to 2017. And if you see, or if definitely you can see this, the green one represents the cases in other provinces, okay, except for Palawan. And the purple one or the violet one is the case of malaria in Palawan. And from 2010 to 2017, most of the cases, malaria cases in our country is in Palawan. Okay? So, karamihan, mga 90% ng cases is nasa Palawan. Especially, I don't know, but wala akong makita sa year ng 2018 and 2019. So, the latest one that is in 2017. Okay? So, wait lang. So, guys, question. So, this is up to you already to determine the cause. Okay? Why is it that Palawan, okay, that majority of the cases, malaria cases in our country is in Palawan? What is in Palawan that is not present in other provinces? Okay? So, yung question po. Um, it is up to you already to determine the answer. So, Plasmodium species, uh, majority of the cases of malaria is caused by Plasmodium falciparum. So, there are four major malaria species that infects humans: the Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivax, ovale, and malariae. But nowadays, okay, there is already a Plasmodium species that can infect animals as well as humans. That's why this is regarded as the zoonotic malaria, okay, or the zoonotic malaria, and that is caused by Plasmodium knowlesi. Plasmodium knowlesi, this is a malaria that inflicts macaques, okay, so that is their main target. However, um, there are cases wherein humans get infected with Plasmodium knowlesi. Okay, so malaria, so that is from the Italian mal, air, area, so which means bad air. Okay, so most important parasitic disease affecting man, and that is caused by species of the genus Plasmodium. So when we are referring to malaria, we are referring to Plasmodium species. Okay, so what is the mode of transmission? The main mode of transmission is, of course, that is through the bite of infected female Plasmodium species. That is through the bite of infected female Anopheles mosquito. So the vector for malaria infection, that is the Anopheles mosquito, the female one. Okay? Yung mga babaeng Anopheles mosquito ang nagtatransmit. There are other mode of transmission. Okay? And that is for you to determine and to search for. Kasi in previous discussion, I almost discussed most of the mode of transmission, leaving you nothing to search. Diba? So, I think we'll change that. I have a lot of questions in the during the discussion, and it is up to you if you want to search on the answer. Okay, kung gusto nyo malaman. So, that is the main mode of transmission. That is to the bite of infected female Anopheles mosquito. So, taxonomy, that is under kingdom Animalia, under phylum Apicomplexia, so this is a coccidian parasite. So that is an order under order Hemosporidia, and then we say Hemosporidia. These are minute protozoan parasite. Maliliit na parasite wherein their life cycle is found in the blood. Okay, kaya hemo. So their life cycle is found in the blood of vertebrates. Okay, and the genus that is, Plasmodium. Species, Vivax, Falciparum ovale malariae, and of course, Knowlesi. Okay? So, those are parasitic human malaria. So, host of Plasmodium. Plasmodium requires two types of host. Okay, so dalawa ang host na kailangan niya. Meron siyang definitive host, meron din siyang intermediate host. Definitive host, if you remember, that's the host that harbors the sexual reproduction or where the sexual reproduction of the parasite occurs. So, yung definitive host niya is sa invertebrate, sa mosquito. Intermediate host lang niya si humans or vertebrate wherein a sexual reproduction occurs. Okay? So, we go to Plasmodium falciparum. So, Plasmodium falciparum causes malignant tertian malaria. Okay? So, it accounts for 50% of all the malaria cases. So, majority of the cases is caused by Plasmodium falciparum. And this is the most severe. Okay? Among the malaria species, that causes, among the Plasmodium species that causes malaria, okay, the most severe form of disease or um, the one that causes the most severe pathology that is caused by Plasmodium falciparum. So, parasitic symptoms appear 9 to 14 days after initial infection. Parasitemia levels are extremely high. Ibig sabihin, mataas yung level or masyadong maraming parasite ang nagagawa sa loob ng katawan ng tao. Okay? So, parasitemia levels are extremely high. Schizonts grow in liver cells. So, schizont ruptures in 5.5 days, releasing 30,000 merozoites. Schizonts are more asymmetrical than other Plasmodium species. Okay, so infected RBCs can attach to an infected RBCs forming rosette. Ano yung rosette? This one. So, the infected RBC, sabi niya, can attract an infected RBC. So, they form aggregate. Okay? So, nag-aggregate sila forming rosette. Okay, rosette formation. So, falciparum trophozoites secrete proteins that cause the formation of erythrocyte. Aside from the fact that they can form rosettes, they can also destroy the morphology. They can alter the morphology of the erythrocyte. So, as you can see here, nag-iiba-iba yung size, yung shape niya. Okay? Falciparum trophozoites extend to the fovea but are not as active as Plasmodium vivax trophozoites. So, Plasmodium falciparum gametocytes are crescent shaped. So, these are gametocytes. In some books, these are referred to as sausage shape or banana shape. Okay, pag sausage shape or banana shape, so that refers to the gametocyte of Plasmodium falciparum. Okay, so we move to the next slide. So, morphological features of Plasmodium falciparum. So, early trophozoite or their living form, so those are the early trophozoite. Trophozoite yung parang singsing. Diba? Social, may singsing. 1 or 2 red nuclei on the ring-like light blue cytoplasm. Okay? So, infected RBCs are like normal red blood cells. What does that mean, guys? So, in Plasmodium falciparum infection, they do not alter. Okay, I don't know if this will coincide with the findings of Henry. Let's check later. Okay, so according to this one, I cannot remember again my reference with this, but in Plasmodium falciparum infection, red blood cells remain normal in shape. Hindi na-alter daw yung shape nila. So what stages are seen in the peripheral blood in Plasmodium falciparum infection? Those are early trophozoites and gametocyte. Yung mga ring shape and yung sausage shape or banana shape, yun yung mga nakikita sa peripheral blood smear. Okay, so morphological features of Plasmodium falciparum. So these are the gametocytes. Okay, so this is a male gametocyte. This is the female gametocyte. So that is sausage in shape. It has one loose nucleus in center of it. So malarial pigments are diffuse. So sausage shape siya. Okay, unlike for the female gametocyte, it has crescentic in shape. Okay, it has one compact nucleus. So if we differentiate the nucleus, the male gametocyte has loose nucleus, but for the female one, compact ang kanyang nucleus. Okay, and crescentric ang shape, unlike for the male gametocyte, that is sausage in shape. Okay, so we go back to the I forgot to include the infection. Okay, so wait lang, let's check. Okay, pathogenesis is found on the end of the presentation. Okay, so Plasmodium vivax. So trophozoite of Plasmodium vivax are the most motile. So this motility has caused researchers to name it as vivace. Okay, so I don't know how is it pronounced correctly. Okay, P. vivax flourishes in temperate zones. Okay, so among the five, P. vivax is the most widespread of the malaria species. Okay, siya yung pinaka-widespread. So most cases of P. vivax malaria now occur in Asia, and P. vivax is common in North Africa but not in tropical Africa. So Africans have a natural resistance to this form of malaria. Bakit kaya, guys? What is present in Africans that gives them the natural resistance to Plasmodium vivax infection? Okay, so it's up to you to find out why. Bakit kaya? Okay, of course I know the answer, but I just want you to read also. Okay, so read also because when you search for this question, mas matagal yung retention. Okay, so schizons are formed in the liver parenchyma and release 10,000 merozoites upon maturation. Okay, how about kanina si Plasmodium vivax? Okay, mas marami siyang nare-release na merozoites, 30,000. That's why parasitemia level is high in Plasmodium falciparum. Okay, so trophozoites cannot penetrate mature red cells. So merozoites can only penetrate red blood cells with mediated receptor site. So actually, guys, your answer for this question is somewhat related to this. Okay, so receptor sites are genetically determined, conferring resistance. A defining characteristic of P. vivax is the development of hypnozoites. So, hypnozoites cause relapse of malaria infection. Ano naman yan if they can cause relapse? Okay? So, this fact, guys, together, vivax and ovalid, they can cause a relapse. Okay? Ano bang ibig sabihin ng relapse? Okay? Akala ng clinician or doctor na gamot na Okay? However, these hypnozoites, they can go to the liver and stay there for a very long period of time. Okay? So these are not detectable in peripheral blood smear or in the blood. So hindi na ito madedetect. Okay? So these hypnozoites, they go to the liver, they stay there, and they can be reactivated later on. Okay? So, meron ka pa rin palang Plasmodium vivax infection or Plasmodium vivax umpale. Kaso, nagtatago lang sila sa liver. So, nandun lang sila and later on, they can become activated and they can cause again the infection. Okay? So, I hope the voice is recording. So, Plasmodium vivax gametocytes are rounded. Okay, unlike for Plasmodium falciparum, concentric and sausage shaped sila. So this is a gametocyte of Plasmodium vivax. It appears that P. vivax gametocytes do not require several, it should be several generations to appear. Symptoms appear between 12 to 18 days after initial infection. Okay, so morphological features of P. vivax. So the erythrocyte. So that is their uniform. My God, I hope the sound is recording. Papakita kasi yung ano. Wait lang, wait lang. Let me check first. Mahirap na. Okay, so I hope this is really recording. So, early trophozoite or their uniform, it has a one red nucleus on the light blue, light blue cytoplasm, and single infection in a cell. So take note, guys, that there is only a single infection of early trophozoite in each of the red blood cell for Plasmodium vivax infection. So we compare that to Plasmodium falciparum. Unlike for falciparum, okay, unlike for falciparum, there is it is possible for multiple infection of one red blood cell only. Pwede magkaroon yan ng maraming trophozoite. Just like here, merong dalawa. Okay? But for Vivax, isa lang. Hindi siya capable of multiple infection of a red blood cell. Okay. Aside from that, the infected red blood cell are enlarged. Lumalaki yung red cell if plasma. Okay? And we can also compare the ring structure. As you can see here, hindi siya nagdugtong. Okay? Hindi siya nagdugtong. But for falciparum here, nagdugtong siya. Okay? So, for the trophozoite, it is irregular shape like with pseudopodia within cytoplasmic granules or malarial pigment hemozoin, which are termed hemozoin, appear. So infected red blood cells are pale in color and have Schaffner's dots in it. So guys, later on we will discuss the different types of dots that are present in the red blood cell. Kasi different types of malaria causes, they can have different kinds of dots. So, just like si Vivax, P. vivax infection, you will see Schaffner dots in the peripheral blood smear. Okay? So, morphological features, immature schizon. These are oval in shape, nucleus divided into 2 or 4 or more. Malarial pigments begin to concentrate in a mass. Mature schizont, on the other hand, nucleus divided into 12 to 24. As you can see here, there are so many nucleus, and cytoplasm also divided. Each nucleus surrounded by a portion of cytoplasm to form merozoites, okay, or the malarial pigment clump. Male gametocyte for P. vivax, so that is, it has one loose nucleus at the center, okay, at the center of it. So malarial pigments are also diffuse. For female gametocyte, the nucleus is not found at the center of it. However, that is compact. Okay, that is compact. So, Plasmodium ovale, that is the rarest. Rarest, this is a comparison of the four only. Okay, Plasmodium falciparum, vivax, ovale, and malariae. But nowadays, when we compare the incidence, the incidence or the number of cases related to these species, the Plasmodium knowlesi has the least, okay, the least cases. So symptoms appear between 12 and 18 days after initial infection. This is common to Western coastal Africa. This is also found in India, in our country, and others. So difficult to diagnose due to its similarity to P. vivax infection. Actually, guys, for you to be able to identify the species of Plasmodium, the Plasmodium species, you have to undergo um, another training. Okay? So, it doesn't mean na kapag registered medical technologist ka na, kaya mo na itong i-identify. No. Meron pang training for that one. Okay? So that you can identify the species. However, in reality, when you are working in the laboratory, it is the pathologist that confirms your reading in the peripheral blood smear. So, uh, kung may nakita kang malaria species, okay, depending on the protocol of the laboratory, you will have to send that to the pathologist and i-confirm yun ni pathologist. Okay? So, depende siya sa laboratory protocol. Gametocytes take longer to appear in blood than those of other species. So, Plasmodium malariae, it causes paroxysm. So, ito yung the paroxysms, guys. So, it's up to you to search on that. In Cosmopolitan, okay, but does not have continuous distribution. So, this is found in Cosmopolitan, but does not have continuous distribution. It is found in many regions of tropical Africa, Asia, South America, and even in Europe. So it is thought to be the only Plasmodium organism that lives in wild animals, okay? But the knowlesi, okay, is also found in macaques. Parasitemia levels are low, okay, relative to other types of Plasmodium species. So symptoms appear between 18 and 40 days after initial infection. Okay, so this is a comparison of Plasmodium species affecting humane. So we have here, for vivax, take note that the erythrocyte is enlarged. Ibig sabihin, lumalaki siya. Okay? Even for Plasmodium ovale, vivax and ovale enlarged. Okay, they are capable of relapse also, vivax and ovale. Si malaria naman, normal to small yung um, appearance or size ng erythrocyte. They do not be large, they can be normal. The size can be normal, but they can become smaller as well. For Plasmodium falciparum, the size is normal and multiply infected red cell. Maybe they should be multiple. Multiple infected red blood cells are common. Okay, it's not multiply. So, cytoplasmic inclusion. So, actually, there is mnemonics used here. Um, they use the first name of the letters of some famous persons in our country. So, like for example, this one, Plasmodium falciparum. Okay? F. Ferdinand Magellan, Falciparum Maurus Darts. So, Ferdinand Magellan Falciparum. So, that is M. So, for FM, Ferdinand Magellan Falciparum Maurus Darts. Are dots. Okay? C. Um, Number is Vilma Santos. Vilma Santos. Bakit Vilma Santos? V, Vivax, S, diba? Vilma Santos, VS, Vivax, and Schaffner's dots.
dots, okay? But as well as ovale, that is also Schaffner's dots, okay? So all stages can be infected except early reforms, okay? So for this one, so instead of Vilma Santos, you add O, okay? O, it's Vilma Santos ovale and Vivax Schaffner's dots. And for Manharhi, actually I forgot this one, the malaria enzymes, but I can think of Miguel Zubiri. Okay, MZ Miguel Zubiri malaria Zimans dots. Okay, so you're on this the characteristics for the parasite cytoplasm, appearance of parasite pigment, number of merozoites. So, Plasmodium malariae, aside from Plasmodium falciparum, it was not indicated here. So, Plasmodium malariae can also form rosette. Okay, rosette. However, here the rosette formation in Plasmodium falciparum, it involves rosette formation of the red blood cell. Unlike a Plasmodium malariae, that is rosette formation by schizonts. Okay. So stages found in circulating blood. So all stages, all stages, all stages. But for the falciparum, only the rings, so early trophozoite and gametocyte. So other stages develop in blood vessels of internal organs but are not seen in peripheral blood except in severe infection. So this is life cycle. So this was lifted from CDC. So, of course, this is not the only way for the transmission of malaria, but this is the most common one. Mosquito takes a blood meal and injects these sporozoites. Therefore, guys, the infective stage of malaria to human is the sporozoite, and the infective stage to the mosquito are the gametocytes. Okay, so mosquito takes a blood meal and injects the sporozoites. The sporozoites infect the liver cell, so they travel and they infect the liver cell. So this is the exoerythrocytic cycle, which means this cycle does not involve yet the red blood cell. Kaya siya exoerythrocytic cycle. So, this is the human liver stages. Liver cell, infected liver cell, so we have here, which will then, so the sporozoites will then mature to form the schizont. Okay, so the schizont will mature, okay, and it will rupture, so it releases the merozoites. So yung mga released form, those are the merozoites. Okay, so Plasmodium vivax and ovale, they have the dormant stage. That is the hypnozoites that is capable of relapse. Okay, so the hypnozoites can persist in the liver and cause relapses by invading the bloodstream weeks or even years later. Okay, so after this initial replication in the liver, which is the exoerythrocytic cycle, so the parasites undergo asexual multiplication in the erythrocyte. So that is asexual multiplication. That's why the human serves as the intermediate host kasi doon nangyayari yung asexual reproduction. Okay? So the merozoites, they infect the red blood cell. So the merozoites will then mature to form the ring stage, that is the early or immature trophozoite. Okay? So they can, so there are two pathways for the immature trophozoite. They can mature to become the trophozoite and then form schizont. Okay? So magiging schizont again sila, and then it will rupture, the red cells will rupture, and it will release merozoites which will then invade some red blood cell. So, pwedeng maulit to ng maulit, okay, the erythrocytic cycle. Another way, okay, another maturation stage for the immature trophozoite is that they will become the sila. So the gametocyte, which can either become the female. So the stage 5 is responsible for the station of the case. Okay, cell is broken down. Okay, it releases the merozoites. Okay, so or the ruptured schizon releasing the merozoites. So entering again another red blood cell, and then the cycle continues, and then mabe-break ulit yung red blood cell. So until dumami ng dumami yung parasite. So the infective stage to mosquito, these are the gametocytes. Ma'am, what will happen if the mosquito was able only to ingest yung infected, guys? Kailangan na the male gametocyte. Okay? Female and male gametocyte. So we have here gametocytes of falciparum. Okay? Unlike here, these are oval, so these are and malarkey. Okay, so mosquito takes a blood meal wherein they ingest the gametocyte. Kapag male yan, that is termed as, if that is a male gametocyte, that is microgametocyte. Guys, sa parasites, most of the time, mas maliit ang lalaki kaysa sa babae. Okay, kaya microgametocyte, mas maliit yung male na gametocyte. Macrogametocyte naman pag female gametocyte. So, these are ingested by Anopheles mosquito during a blood meal. Okay, so the parasite's multiplication in the mosquito is known as the sporogenic cycle. Okay, that is sporogenic cycle. Two cycle occurs in humans, the exoerythrocytic cycle and the erythrocytic cycle. So while in the mosquito stomach, the microgametes penetrate the macrogametes, generating zygotes. So we have here the macrogamete. So microgamete, they have flagella and they will penetrate the macrogamete. So parang this is a form of fertilization. Diba? So forming the, before this one, forming the ookinete. So they will form pala. So they will form zygotes first. Okay, so microgamete penetrating or entering macrogamete, so forming the zygote. Zygote will then further mature to become the ookinetes. Okay, so which invade the midgut wall of the mosquito where they develop into oocysts. So the oocysts grow, rupture, and releases the sporozoites, which are the infective stage to humans. So the sporozoites make their way to the mosquito's salivary glands, and inoculation of sporozoites happen when they take a blood meal to a human host. So that's the life cycle. Okay? So you can check YouTube, okay, this cdc.com for you to understand it better kung hindi naintindihan yung explanation ko. Okay, so that is the life cycle. There is the pre-erythrocytic schizogony, erythrocytic schizogony, the gametogony, the exoerythrocytic schizogony. So, reproduction and maturation in definitive host. What is the definitive host? The mosquito. So, Anopheles species ingest erythrocytes containing Plasmodium gametocytes. So, if an unsuitable species of mosquito ingests Plasmodium gametocytes, they are digested. Okay, so for example, Aedes mosquito ang nag-ingest sa Plasmodium gametocytes. So, hindi sila may infect, okay? So, they will be digested. Macrogametocytes and microgametocytes are released from the erythrocyte. The macrogametocyte matures into macrogamete. So, this is the female gametocyte. Microgametocyte matures into microgamete. So, microgametes fertilize macrogametes. So, it's like here. If fertilize ni microgamete ang macrogamete. So diploid zygote becomes a motile ookinete. So after the fertilization, that will become a zygote. And that will further mature into ookinete. Hindi na kasi naipakita dito yung zygote. Okay, the motile ookinete penetrates the stomach lining. So once the ookinete begins to form the oocyst, sporoblasts begin to form within the oocyst. Sporoblasts divide repeatedly to form sporozoites. So sporozoites break out of the oocyst and migrate throughout the body of the mosquito. This entire process from ookinete to sporozoites can take from 10 to 21 days. So sobrang mahaba din pala. So some sporozoites end up in the salivary gland of Anopheles, where they are transmitted when the mosquito takes a blood meal. So sporozoites injected by Anopheles migrate to the liver from the bloodstream. So this is already a continuation of the life cycle. Okay, so you can read on this one. So, pwede nyo nang basahin to, guys. I already explained the life cycle. So, one of these, hemozoin, this is a byproduct of parasitic consumption of hemoglobin that is toxic and causes inhibition to macrophages. So after a number of generations, some merozoites become macro and the microgametocytes. So ingestion of gametes causes infection in Anopheles. If not ingested, gametes are phagocytized. Okay, so we go to pathogenesis. So common symptoms of malaria infection. Of course, there is fever, okay, chills, fatigue, headache, sweats, nausea, and vomiting. But for Plasmodium falciparum, this is the most severe form of, it causes the most severe form of malaria, wherein it causes cerebral malaria, which accounts for 10% of hospital-admitted malaria cases. Okay? So, and 80% for, I forgot this one. Okay, nakalimutan ko to honestly. So, mild jaundice, and that is 80%. Okay, so 80% of cases, that is, depende kasi sa book na gamit, guys. Sometimes, magkakaiba sila ng, when it comes to numbers, prevalence, mga ganun, incidence rate. Okay, magkakaiba. And that is 80% of admitted malaria cases is caused by Plasmodium falciparum. So it causes also mild jaundice, hepatomegaly, that is enlarged liver, increased respiratory rate, pulmonary edema. Aside from cerebral malaria, Plasmodium falciparum also causes black water fever. Okay, bakit nagkakaroon ng black water fever? So, that is, other term for black water fever, that is malarial hemoglobinuria. Okay, so if you remember in the life cycle, what happens to the red blood cell? They rupture. Okay, so if red blood cells are ruptured, what will happen? It will release, if you remember, heme and globin chain. So, tataas yung level ng bilirubin. Okay? So, magkakaroon ng mild jaundice. Aside from that, mas maraming madideposit na magkakaroon ng oxidized form of blood. Okay? So, magkakaroon din ng hemolysis. Kasi diba nagkakaroon ng bursting of the red blood cell pag nare-release yung merozoites. Okay? So, in that case, mare-release ang of course, hemoglobin. Okay? Directly into the blood vessels and as well as in the urine. Okay? So, pag na-oxidize kasi yung hemoglobin, magiging color ng urine that is black. Okay? Kaya siya tinawag na black water fever. Also known as the malarial hemoglobinuria. Okay? So, that is for Plasmodium falciparum. Clinical signs of malaria can be attributed to two factors: the post-inflammatory response and anemia because of the destruction of the red blood cell. Diagnosis. So, the gold standard for the diagnosis of malaria infection is microscopy, guys. Okay, yun pa rin yung gold standard, hindi PCR. not any other method. So this is the reference method, the gold standard method, that is microscopy. So, yun yung time na gumagamit sila ng thick and thin blood smear. Okay, thick and thin blood smear. So, diagnosis of malaria can be difficult because many symptoms are general. So, individuals with very low parasitemias can often be overlooked. Since ang sample mo is blood, so if the level of parasite in the peripheral blood smear, okay, that you made is very low, so there is a big chance na ma-overlook mo. Okay, kasi naman, we do not check all of the fields. And if parasitemia, and if there is low level of parasite, okay, possible din na wala kang makuha dun sa sample mo. But in fact, meron talaga, kaso sobrang baba lang kasi ng number. Several effective methods for diagnosis have been developed, so fluorescent light staining and others. Treatment. Several drugs can be administered. So these are the drugs used for malaria treatment. So treatment of malaria focuses on eradication of the blood parasites. So treatment is dependent on several factors including type of malaria, drug resistance, because for falciparum, most strains are already resistant to chloroquine. Okay, so P-Vivax has also developed resistance to chloroquine and primaquine, though they are not as widespread as Plasmodium falciparum. That's why, guys, not only bacteria can develop antimicrobial resistance, but as well as parasites and even HIV. Okay, even virus, they can develop antimicrobial resistance. Okay, so resistance to microbial agents. So that is for the discussion of malaria, and I will attach laboratory differences in the appearance or characteristics of the 4 species of malaria because they are the most important. Again, the laboratory part. Also, guys, I will also attach there the method for making a thin and thick blood smear. Okay, so that's all for this topic. Thank you and God bless.